Hello my friends and welcome back to the Outer Worlds. In our last video, we infiltrated Tartarus and had some unexpected help from the Groundbreaker crew and the folks from Stellar Bay, and I feel like they've all died horrible deaths, and I'll no doubt be judged for that in the future. But anyway, the quest we are currently on is the Brave New World, and it must be my last quest because I've reached the point of no return, and I still need to make my way through Tartarus to confront Chairman Rockwell. I have no idea how close I am, but I do know that I need to go over this way to continue to make my way through the pit, because I'm only on floor 2. And I've got only one more get out of jail disguise situation, so let's see how this all works out. I need to go that way, but what's over here? Let's get distracted again like usual. Whoa, mouse is already not cooperating. I have a new mouse, so that's why I'm always complaining about it. Oh, what's this right here? Oh, I could have snuck in this way. Oh, well, I guess that's good to know for when I no doubt run out of stuff. Oh crap. You know what, let's go up. Maybe we can let's try to be creative.
Okay, gone quiet.
Yeah. I feel like they should totally see me at this point.
Something's not right.
Oh no.
What was that?
Nothing. Oh, they're gonna catch me. Well,
hold on. I don't recognize you at all.
that's because I'm not one of your staff.
You've got exactly 5 seconds to explain.
Okay. Rockwell sent for me, and he'd be angry, very angry, to know you're holding me up.
Apologies, ma'am. I'll get out of your way.
Oh, good. The exit is here. So do not disturb when lights are on. What's the terminal, though? Let's unseal the door. Let's save. Oh, look, there's a... What? Like, is he right there? So the Chairman Rockwell would get his eyebrows did right here, I suppose. And he would go on here to give his propaganda speeches. Oh, terminal. Ooh, post-it notes. An assortment of adhesive notes. It appears whoever works here uses adhesive notes to stay organized. A couple of more intelligible notes. Rockwell visit to-dos. Confiscate badges done. Reprint badges pending. Change maintenance locks, pending new locks, order new locks done. Reevaluate lockdown procedure, update docking authority with new lockdown procedure. Intake bed bottles, cigarettes, and weapons. Oh, okay. You know, maybe I don't need to look. So Labyrinth security terminal. Let's see, messages, cameras. Jim, I'm trying to get straight with Akande's orders. Only a few things more from my end, but I don't know what we'll do about cameras. She says security footage ain't enough. They want proper reels. What's going on? She's bringing in a VIP for internment. Security's ramping up too. Sorry for the inconvenience. It's a fine mess down here. Said something about recording an announcement. They're all overly excited. It's hush hush, but I guess his VIP's been on the run for a while. Oh, is this all related to Phineas? I bet the engineers have a few cameras. I'll see if I can track some down. Appreciate it. You know her. We miss a check on this list. It's our heads. We have no idea how tough it was getting a fucked up green tarp. Oh. Okay. Just kind of random. Let's see. Anything else? No, nothing else. Let's save again. But hey, my stuff reset, so that's amazingly wonderful. Actually, what's up here? I know, I need to like focus and like keep moving forward, but There's 3 rounds of heavy ammo right there. And now I gotta go back and reset my countdown. All right, there we go. And let's take the elevator up to floor 3. I mean, this is so horrible. Yeah, we're only on the 3rd floor. You know, I keep thinking every day is going to be my last day, but it doesn't ever work out that way.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and fight!
Oh, Sanjar! So I had, like, I forget her name, Zora from the Iconoclast last time. And now I've got MSI. Oh, my friends are so great. I feel like they're doing better. But what's over here? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, that's so lovely. Corporate troopers. They've not quite taken care of everybody. Let's go back over this way. I feel like I should be clear over here. And this is where I need to go anyway. Hi, guys. Oh, you did so great. I'm so proud of you. Where does this go? Oh. Because looting is an addiction and I can't help myself. I keep seeing a red screen. I'm like, is that Ada? Could I go talk to her again? Are there any offices or anything? No, just more ladders down. It looks like to get, I'm like leaning forward like it's gonna let me look down. I don't think those are offices over there. No, let's just head up. I don't think there's anything over there except more guards, miscellaneous loot. And if there is, well, I've missed it.
Really doing this, huh?
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I believe I'm ready for this.
Glad one of us are, because I'm not. We're on floor 5. We kind of skipped 4, I guess. Oh, 4 was all the little ladder bits. Okay. Sorry. Again, mouse.
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me, your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
Are we at the end already? I feel like this could be a really short video today, but we'll see how it goes. Doomed Phineas and I are saving the colony. I'm just rooting out corruption one idiot at a time. What can I say? I like to cause trouble. Are we doing that one? Yes, yes we are.
Fantastic. The biggest thorn in our side we've ever had, and you just like to cause trouble. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off.
Well, that was rather rude. Whoa, no, there's no call for hostility. You aren't one to mince words, huh? Chairman Rockwell, just the man I'm here to kill. No, we'll go with the first one.
No call for... You. You unbelievable bitch. Sophia should be the one wasting her time with you, but you killed her.
I did.
I'll have you hanged, quartered, bankrupted.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
Do you really think that's gonna actually work? And I don't think he likes my sarcasm. I'm not waiting for anything. The colony needs saving right now. Oh, of course. How long until you're done? A felon? Or a felony? I've made a terrible mistake. Please don't arrest me. Let's go with the middle one and see where that goes.
Is that sarcasm? Do you know what I do to people who employ the lowest, most base form of humor?
No.
I fire them. Alas, as you are woefully unemployed, I'll have to do the next best thing and have you killed. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
Sorry. Don't damage the thing that's going to kill you, please. I'm sure we can talk about this, Rockwell. Let's work something out. I don't really want to. I'll be there before you know it. I can't wait to get in there and kill you. This is going to be the highlight of my year. Let's go with the middle one. I don't really like any of these, but I'll go with that one. Which way do I go? Oh, gosh. Oh, he's down there. The thing I need to kill. Lovely. Stairs down. And sealed. Okay. Good weapons out. Let's save. In case this takes 20 tries. Oh, what's behind the sealed door?
Deft hands, Cap.
Thank you. Ooh, can I just turn it off? Oh, really? Vicar, I brought you for a reason, and I can't unlock it now. So Riot Automechanical RAM is online. UDL is not responsible for lethal force dispensed by the RAM unit. If the automechanicals in this area need maintenance or updated security protocols, please consult your nearest security engineer. Designate RAM as a hostile intruder. Access RAM override menu. Let's try that one. Warning, damage to RAM unit, etc. Okay, attempt RAM shutdown sequence. Activate weapon safeties. Let's try to shut him down. The RAM unit is in suppression mode. 3-part authentication is required in the event of a critical malfunction to the RAM unit's main systems. Partial authentication may be accepted to protect the RAM unit from any unauthorized access. Administrators may only bypass 2 of these passwords. So I've got let's bypass the first password. And then we'll bypass the second password. And then burst, apparently. RAM shutdown sequence initiated. That is awesome. I love both of you. Whoever gave me the hacking skills, thank you so much. That was so totally worth it. Big boss fight? Nope, didn't need it. Solid pass. Where do these doors go? Do they go anywhere? It's the best. So Halcyon to be able to just shut it down. I didn't scratch it, but it already looks pretty janky. Hibernation chamber key. I have a feeling we're gonna need that. Sorry, I'm still giggling over the fact that I could just hack my way through the boss fight. I love it. Because I feel like Chairman Rockwell should not be that big of a problem. But the music going on right now, really, really good. I like it a lot. But you could watch and lord over your frozen colony until it's a colony of just one. All right, let's save in case I make poor decisions.
Seems like me to see.
You okay, Captain?
Thanks, Vicar. That was, well, that was very anticlimactic. Can I loot? There we go. Chairman's key.
Get me out of here!
There we go.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Thanks. My last quest completed. Pretty sure it's the last one. So anyway, it completed. Oh no, we're here. We're at the end. I can do this. Okay, are you kidding? The board never stood a chance against me. You know I wouldn't let anything happen to you, Phineas. Do you have any idea how much trouble I went through to save you? Let's go with the first one.
All in a day's work for you, huh?
Kind of.
You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Oh? I don't like the sound of that grate, and I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate. I'm not really in the mood for your theatrics. No. Second one.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth.
Yeah.
We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what'll happen once news gets out. Let's just keep this between us for now.
Okay.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
We have a lot of work ahead of us. We'd best get started. Wait, hold on. I need to ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
Okay, what do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
So it's like serious make it work time then, right? You mentioned a frigate disappearing. I feel like I remember that in some side quest or something that there was a message that was going out, or I vaguely remember this being mentioned. Anyway.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship.
Oh.
They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
There's something else I know about the other colonists, Phineas.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Well, better late than never, I guess. You're a murderer and a liar. I mean, he's a kooky scientist. Did he do it with malicious intent, intending to torture people and murder them? No, but like, I would like to know how many it was. Was it like 10? Or I can't remember what my experiment number was, but we'll go with the middle one.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. Lord knows I won't forgive myself. But I'm going to try to set things right. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now.
Yeah,
If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
He seems less, I don't know, kooky right now. And it's good that he knows that he needs to do better. But anyway, I've got no more questions. We've got work to do.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only competent person left. I think I might be the only competent person, like, ever. You can count on me. I'll help you revive the other colonists. I'm going to do what I've always done. Whatever I want, all the time. Let's go with the middle one. That's seems neutral ground. I think my character's probably going to have to step in, but I don't see that ending well.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong.
Oh?
I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
Kind of.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks.
Oh, that's good.
Consumed by paranoia, Lilya Hagen took sublight salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever.
Oops.
Time would tell if her replacement could keep the sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Tobson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town.
Oh, no.
And those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. As for Reed Tobson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat.
Oh.
Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising.
Yay!
The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs.
Oh no.
It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane, ethical Halcyon. They cleared the dead from Gorgon's laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis.
Well, that's good.
Gorgon, which had once sown death and destruction across Halcyon, became a source of hope and renewal. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition.
Good.
With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life, Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life. The colony had moved on from Halcyon Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view.
Aww.
The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Sedrick Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Sedrick offered slugs transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option.
Really?
Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both.
Of course.
After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange,
Yeah.
Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path.
Oh dear.
Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity.
Oh jeez.
The Prophet was not among the bodies.
Shocking.
Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes.
Aww.
With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands.
Oh.
As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the Vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximillian DeSoto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed.
Yay!
The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it.
That's good.
As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists. the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Oh, that was such a nice little epilogue. It worked out pretty well. There were still some like non-perfect endings, but like I feel like as a whole that worked out lovely. That was such a good story. It really was. Well, even despite the fact that I had a feeling today might be the last day, I had not prepared anything when it comes to like reviewing the game. So I'll just kind of stumble through like I usually do. So like I just said, I really like the story of this game. It was good. It was funny. I loved the ridiculousness and the tongue-in-cheek and just the ridiculousness that was Halcyon. And I feel like the DLCs did it better. I feel like they got better with the game story-wise in Gorgon, and I thought Eridanos was my favorite of all of them. And then to go back to finish the game, it was more like, oh yeah, okay, well, let's finish this. I wish there had been a way to where you could have done the base game and then did Gorgon and then did Eridanos, but I remember reading online that you had to do it before you reached the point of no return, or you had to restart your game basically, which I didn't want to have to do. Well, not restart your game, but go back to the point of no return save. But anyway, I thought it was a really, really good story. It was, I don't know, I liked it. It does kind of make me wonder how big a difference it would be if you sided with the board. Like if you were full, like, not a nice person at all. I dabbled, but I feel like I towed the line pretty well to being like, you know, morally gray, neutral, you know, and or morally good sometimes, or I feel like I'm using that phrasing wrong, but I do wonder how, if you could go like full dark side and like be a full board person, and how that would change. Like, would the colony die out instead of surviving? I do wonder. It makes me want to play it again, but like not right now. Let's see. I was also very impressed with how long it was. I knew, you know, I knew it was going to be longer than, you know, because it was a relatively recent game. I figured it was going to be longer, but I did not expect the DLCs to be as long as they were. I think that's really what added so much extra time was the DLCs. And I did not expect them to be as extensive as they were. You know, I'm playing Mass Effect right now, and the DLCs are done in like 2 or 3 days. And these were like weeks and weeks. I feel like we went months. I don't feel like it was that long, but I feel like we spent months in Gorgon and Eridanos. But I like the story. I play games for the story, and I really liked it. Like, I'm very interested to play it again, not right now, to see the opposite side, if you side with the board, you know, if you don't bring your companions at all, and if you do like a full solo build, because that's an option. And I do want to talk about the builds in a minute. Let's see, I normally talk about graphics, and it was beautiful. Everything was so beautiful. It was just gorgeous to look at, you know, and it being a relatively recent game, you would expect that. I do have a relatively decent PC, so that it doesn't, like, I don't have crazy long loading times. I think one of you mentioned that on PS4 or Xbox, you have long loading times. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, I would imagine that being on a console versus a PC where you can ramp up all of your specs, it's going to be a lot longer with loading, but it was totally worth it because it was so beautiful. I mean, like, even just watching in the background here right now, the ship floating back and forth and like the thrusters and everything, it was gorgeous. Let's see, game mechanics I usually talk about. It was fine, first-person shooter. The one thing that they did different, well, not the one thing, but I feel like the main mechanic they added was the slow time, and I never used it. Like, I just didn't really use it. I'm really bad at using like specific game mechanics that are like, the game is designed around you using slow time. I just didn't use it all that often. I also didn't go full on into like energy weapons or anything like that. I kind of just went with my comfort zone, which is automatic assault rifles, you know, sniper rifles, like large guns. But it was fine. I don't play games for their mechanics. If they are good and they make the storytelling smoother, I love it. But only thing I require with game mechanics is for it not to be so annoying that I quit the game. Because I have had those in the past where I just get so annoyed about how clunky a system is, I just can't play it. Let's see, what else? Maybe some things I didn't like. Let's see, I was not a big fan of how they had a level cap. I wished the level cap had been removed, especially when it came to the DLCs, because I level capped, I feel like, before I hit the DLCs, which was disappointing because I wanted to have more talent points. I wanted to be like full on overpowered to where like I wanted that moment. I imagine there might be mods or something in existence right now where you can change that, but I love mods. I know some people are very anti-mod. I love them. I love them. But I do try whenever possible to not use mods in the first game. Sometimes it varies. I know I use them like when I played Dragon Age, because I had a bad experience in Origin. I was very nervous with Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition not installing mods. But I haven't been installing them a lot lately. I know I just did in Mass Effect 2, so that's okay, I'm making a poor argument. But anyway, I imagine there are mods to like circumvent that and to like level higher maybe now and then get more talent points. I just wanted more talent points, and it was a little annoying to have to be restricted to only bringing like the Vicar and Parvati, I think, if I wanted to unlock every terminal and unlock every door. I could have built it differently so that I didn't need to only bring them, but like then I feel like I already was restricted to like hacking, locking, and dialogue skills. I feel like I didn't really get to dabble in much else, which was a little disappointing. I wanted to really amp up my power of my companions. I had to stop that because I needed so much in dialogue and, unlocking skills. And that was a little disappointing that I couldn't do that. It wasn't the end of the world, but it was disappointing. Some of the talent options were a little wonky. I could definitely see where they were going, where like if you wanted to do a solo build, there were definitely talent points for like a solo build. Like if you ran around without companions, you were way more powerful. There were definitely more builds when it came to using the science weapons, the very unique weapons that were in game that seemed like they'd be so fun, but because I didn't spec in anything science weapon, they were just kind of meh for me. So that would be something interesting. It's a way to like motivate someone to do a replay, but like I would like to just be able to do all of it in the same game because I just like to get all the talent points and then I can just, pull out whatever weapon that I want to do. Let's see. I feel like I only ran into one bug, and I remember I had to Google, and it was like on Gorgon, and it was a known bug that it worked if you didn't have Aerodanos installed, but I feel like it had to do with it removed a quest option, which wasn't a make it or break it point for me. It was fine, but I feel like that's the only bug that I really ran into. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's kind of it right now. And those are my initial thoughts. I really like the game. I had fun. It was hilarious. I mean, I never logged in to record videos here and didn't have fun. I had lots of exploration. I had lots of looting, lots of questing. I love all the dialogue and the choices and you can go different ways. I loved all the companions. Felix was probably my least favorite. Sam, I feel like they missed the mark with Sam. I feel like there could have been something more. I would have preferred if you would have had a quest to put Ada in Sam's body and then bring Ada along with you. Like Ada, like a very base AI was left on the ship, and then, or like Ada could like, teleport herself into Sam's body, and then when he got back onto the ship, she teleported herself back into the ship. I'm using teleport, and that's not the right word, but like I think you understand where I'm going with it. But I feel like I would have much preferred that instead of like Sam, because I feel like Sam was just meh. I didn't bring him along with me because I thought he was meh, but maybe if I had brought him around more, it would have been better. But my favorite companion, I love Parvati. She's just so sweet. You just want to give her hugs because she's just like the nicest person. Ellie is hilarious. I would bring Ellie around with me all the time because I felt like my version of Alex, Hawthorne, and Ellie, like I feel like they would have gotten along the best. But yeah, I think Ellie's probably my favorite. Felix was like your annoying little brother you bring along because your mom makes you, but he was a good person, and that's I think what really matters. But yeah, that is Outer Worlds number 1 done because, Obsidian dropped that there is going to be a number 2. And if you haven't watched the trailer for it, you totally should because it is so Outer Worlds. It is just so, I hope they go full on crazy with the sarcasm and the kitschiness and the ridiculousness of everything. I don't know how they're going to do it though, because Halcyon's fixed now, allegedly. Where are they gonna go now? Do we get to go back to Earth? But then you wouldn't be Outer Worlds anymore. You'd still be you'd be in Earth Worlds. But maybe there's other colonies that they can look at, because I feel like in the ending credits sequence, well, this is the credits sequence, and the ending epilogue sequence, there we go. It mentioned other colonies sending them supplies, so maybe they'll go with that. But I will definitely be playing it when it comes out. I may not play it right when it comes out. I may pause and wait a moment to see if there's going to be DLCs and wait until all the DLCs are out. It just makes it easier, and then I don't have to save a game on my computer for a year waiting for a DLC to release. So there's that. I'm also concerned if I get to import decisions from 1 to 2. So that will be something that I need to think about, because then I'll need to save. I need to figure out how to save my games and whatnot. But that's as usual, I'll worry about that later. But yeah, this is the end of Outer Worlds. And on Saturday, we're going to start a new game. And as of today, it's overwhelmingly going to be BioShock. Now, I did buy the BioShock collector's, it's not collector's edition, but it's the collector's option, which gave me 1, 2, and I forget the name of the third one. It's not BioShock 3, it's something else. But it did give me all those. So my plan is to play through all 3. It'll be lots of jump scares, but it's October. It's the time for it, right? But anyway, my plan is to start that on Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, this does bring us to the end of Outer Worlds, and I keep repeating myself. And as usual, I would like to thank you all so very much for coming along with me on this journey. I do appreciate all of your comments, all of your likes, all of your views, all of your subscribes, everything. I did just recently hit 1,000 subscribers, which is still kind of shocking to me. I really was hoping to get there only to get my community page on my YouTube channel. And that's what I really wanted it for. No other real reason. It's just to have an easier way to communicate with all of you. I could start a Discord server, and I've been meaning to do that, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. Maybe one day I'll do that. But yeah, I guess what I'm very poorly trying to say is thank you. Thank you so much for coming along with me on all of my gaming journeys. I hope you had as much fun in the Outer Worlds as I did, and that you'll join me again on Saturday for our new journey with BioShock. But that does bring us to the end for today. So I will say, as always, thank you so very much for watching. Please do keep yourselves safe, and I will see you again on Saturday with another new video.